So what I want to do here tonight is I want to start off with what I'm going to call Idolatry 101. The definition is simply this. Idolatry is anything that we worship or anything that we put before God in our lives. Answering the question, does America have idols in its midst? Do we have to deal with this question? Absolutely. I've had an idol or two in my life. We actually had delivered to our house I think it was Thursday, this thing called a TV guide. And it was about this big. And I would grab that thing as soon as it came, and I would go to the very front. Now, this just shows you how whacked out I am. But maybe some of you could identify with this. I would turn to this section that was right at the front called Sports and Leisure. And then I would read the newspaper, and I knew all the Dodgers, and I knew all their stats. And then I started collecting baseball cards, and Mom started giving me baseball cards. And I'd open up those cards, and I'd always want to see the Dodger. It was so bad, you guys, that I would go to bed, and then I'd pull out my little transistor radio. Not only am I a baseball fanatic with the Dodgers, but now I've been introduced to basketball. This idol was not just the Dodgers. Now this idol became sports. So when we talk about idolatry, sports was definitely an idol of mine. And some of you would laugh, but no. That consumed my mind. It consumed my time. It was everything I thought about. And it took a near-death experience in a car to wake me up. What possibly could you have in your life that may fall in the category of an idol? Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming, because, Moses, he had delivered the Israelites out of Egypt, out of slavery. He's their hero. He's the man. He's everything to them. He had to go up and have a conversation with God. And then chapter 32, verse 1, when the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He then went to a pawn shop, got the money, and took off and lived life happily ever after. Or, he took what they handed him and made it into an idol. Are you kidding me? He made it into an idol, cast it in the shape of a what? A calf. We're going from chasing after the lion to chasing after the calf. How cute. Fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." Are you kidding me? All this jewelry that you've melted down and now made in the image of a golden calf, you are now saying that this is the God that you are to worship? Yeah. When Aaron saw this, he built an altar in front of the calf and announced, "Tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord." So the next day the people rose early and sacrificed burnt offerings and presented fellowship offerings. And how can we get to the point from acknowledging God as our creator and worshiping him to worshiping sports? Or food, or TV, or music, or addictions, or. Number one thing I'm going to throw out there is being impatient. If we are impatient with God, then we get to the point where we'll take that job back into our own hands, right? And then we will become God, and then we will do whatever, whenever, however we can. Impatience, yes, but also unbelief. Do I still give my life to him, although the timing is not playing out like I want it? Or do I just compromise for a moment in my unbelief and just go? Pragmatism is a third one. Are you kidding me that you would go from being rescued out of Egypt, seeing the hand of God work in so many ways in your life, to a moment of being impatient and unbelief that you're going to be so practical that you're going to create a God? And then I look at my own life and go, oh yeah, I'm not too far. Number 4, ingratitude. It's just stopping and pausing and going, you know what? I know all the crud that's going on and all the stuff that's out there, and I wish things were better, all that. But boy, can I just pause a moment and say, thank you, God? We look at the Israelites and go, you ding-dongs. And yet, I just need to look in the mirror and go, wait a second. Let me share another one, compromise. We know who God is. We need to stick with him. And as hard as it is, and I know it's hard, church, we will be faced every day, maybe every week, every month, to say, hey, do you really believe that? Am I idol-free? Am I idol-free?